What is going on, YouTube world? My name is Ghiman McKinney. I appreciate you guys for watching this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now, as it does help these videos get out to the public and the channel to grow. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos on here weekly and almost every single day if I can, and turn on post notifications too, so you don't miss a single one of those videos that I post. It's only right, you guys. Breaking news, Jadeveon Clowney gets traded to the Seattle Seahawks. To me, the Seahawks are clear winners in this trade. I will get to the Seattle Seahawks in a little bit, kind of talk about what it means for their team and what it kind of means for the Texans. I'm going to start with the Houston Texans. I actually yesterday, I actually recorded and made a video that I was going to drop in a couple of hours saying the Texans needed to trade Jadeveon Clowney. That's my humble belief. The reason why I say that is not because Jadeveon Clowney is not a great player. Jadeveon Clowney is an excellent player, and he was a big contributor last year to why the Houston Texans made the playoffs and why they're division. Okay, he was a huge contributor. But now that Andrew Luck is retired in the Colts division, in the Texans division, now that Andrew Luck is retired, Deshaun Watson is now the best quarterback in that division. Okay, he's by far the best quarterback. Jacoby Brissett, not on Deshaun Watson's level. Okay, Marcus Mariota, not on Deshaun Watson's level. Okay, Nick Foles is great, but he is not the talent that Deshaun Watson is. Deshaun Watson, I'm all in on Deshaun Watson. The guy, to me, is a top 10 quarterback right now. He's a great player. Okay, he's the type of guy that can make it for a bad offensive line. He's the type of quarterback that can elevate the troops around him. He's a dynamic player that makes a ton of plays. I'm all in on Deshaun Watson. So the Houston Texans, congratulations. You have your quarterback pretty much for the future. You've done the great thing. The number one asset for a team is quarterback. But what you need to do is protect Deshaun Watson. And what I was gonna say in that video is that now that you're trying to pay Jadeveon Clowney, I think that's a waste of time, because now you have quarterbacks now that Andrew Luck is retired, now that you don't have an elite quarterback in that division, when you're left with Marcus Mariota, Nick Foles, and Jacoby Brissett, you don't need two stud pass rushers. Okay, you just don't need to re-sign Jadeveon Clowney. He's not the necessary need. What the necessary need needs to be is protecting Deshaun Watson. Get Deshaun Watson on the offensive line. And to me, when I looked at the Texans, I thought that they need to trade Jadeveon Clowney for some offensive line help or even some draft picks, okay? And to me, I thought the Houston Texans could have got a lot more back for Jadeveon Clowney. I don't know what they're doing here. For me, let's see what they got here. For Jadeveon Clowney, the Houston Texans got a 3rd round pick, linebacker Jacob Martin, and a pass rusher named Brakavius Mingo, okay? Those are decent players, but I would have loved to at least seen the Texans at least get a 2nd round pick for Jadeveon Clowney, okay? Because I think Jadeveon Clowney is worth a lot, okay? He's 26 years old. The guy still has a ton of value. He's a great player, okay? And what I mean by the Texans what I mean by what I said the Texans need to trade Jadeveon Clowney and that he was necessarily needed anymore on the team, it's because they don't have an elite quarterback that they need to get after in their division, okay? The reason why the Chicago Bears traded for Khalil Mack is because they knew Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford were their division, and Kirk Cousins too. The reason why John Elway went out and drafted Bradley Chubb, why he's so keen on defense, is because he has Derek Carr, he has Phillip Rivers, he has Patrick Mahomes now in his division. You need elite pass rushers to get after those quarterbacks in that division, okay? Why look at teams like the 49ers, okay? The 49ers, there's a reason why their GM went out and drafted Nick Bosa. There's a reason why they went out and traded for D Ford. There's a reason why they've drafted Solomon Thomas, why they drafted DeForest Buckner. The reason why is because they have quarterbacks like Russell Wilson in their division. They have quarterbacks like Jared Goff in their division. They have quarterbacks like Kyler Murray in their division, who I'm very high on. I'm very high on Kyler Murray, okay? So, because they have elite quarterbacks that they're going to be facing 6 times a year, they need elite pass rushers to make the life for those quarterbacks uncomfortable. Now that Andrew Luck is gone from the division, I didn't think the Texans needed 2 stud pass rushers. You already have J.J. Watt. So trading Jadeveon Clowney and not overpaying for him was a good move. The only problem is I didn't think you got enough back for him. I think Jadeveon Clowney was worth a little bit more. I do think the linebacker that you guys acquired and the pass rusher you guys acquired will definitely help the team somewhat. I do think the 3rd round pick is very key, because now the Texans need to focus on drafting offensive linemen. Deshaun Watson, it's a crime. Okay, look, Deshaun Watson's special, like I said. I can't rave enough about Deshaun Watson, okay? The guy was on pace to throw over 40 touchdown passes in his rookie season. Comes back this year after he gets hurt, okay? Wins the division. Deshaun Watson, like I said, on pace to throw over 40 touchdowns his rookie year, but he got hurt, ultimately came back this year, like I said, won the division. But in the process of that, Deshaun Watson was sacked 62 times last year. That's a crime in itself. That does not count the amount of times that Deshaun Watson was constantly hit, the amount of times he was constantly pressured, the amount of times he was running absolutely for his life. So now my theory with the Texans was trade Jadeveon Clowney, don't overpay for him, use your cap space that you have next year to, go out and get offensive linemen. Go out and get draft picks to trade and get offensive linemen in the draft. Go get a ton of draft picks to load up on that offensive line. Because once you find a quarterback, your job is not to go out and get the elite pass rusher. Your job is not to go out and get the running back. Your job is not to go out and get the wide receiver. Your job is to protect that quarterback. You don't want Deshaun Watson being the next Andrew Luck, okay? Because Andrew Luck, the reason why he's partly retired is because the coach did a poor job of surrounding him with offensive line help. Andrew Luck was constantly under pressure, under duress. He consistently got hurt. And Deshaun Watson, he's a great player, but he's a little bit injury prone. Deshaun Watson has had 2 ACL surgeries, guys. 1 in college and 1 in the NFL, okay? So the main priority for Deshaun Watson should be protecting that man. Protect your franchise. Because Deshaun Watson, this franchise relies heavily on his success. They rely heavily on him. Okay, he's the franchise. He's the reason why the Texans are relevant. So in order to have that Super Bowl window that you want to have, because now that Andrew Luck is out of the division, I really do think if the Texans capitalize, they can have a Super Bowl window for about 10 or 15 years because I think Deshaun Watson is that good. My thing was trade Jadeveon Clowney, get some draft picks, don't overpay for him because next year you're going to have over $80 million in cap space, okay? You're going to have over $80 million in cap space. Use all that money to get offensive line help. Don't overpay for Jadeveon Clowney. That's my theory. But the only problem is I think you didn't get enough back for Jadeveon Clowney. That's my only thing. I just think that he's worth a lot more than what you got. But hey, you didn't overpay for Jadeveon Clowney. I appreciate what the Texans did. Shout out to them. Their future is bright with Deshaun Watson if they can get the offensive line fixed. I do think they potentially could win their division this year. But again, I'm potentially leaning toward the Jaguars. Now, I know I predicted the Texans to win their division in my most recent video. I get it. But I thought Jadeveon Clowney was potentially going to be there. I don't know now. I'm just going to go out and say it right now. I think the Jaguars probably win this division. Nick Foles is a great quarterback. Jalen Ramsey and that defense is nasty. I'm rolling with the Jaguars now. I don't know. I just think the Texans have too many holes. They had an easy schedule last year. They won a lot of close games last year. The offensive line is still very bad. I understand you drafted Tyus Howard. I understand you drafted another kid that I kind of like. But this offensive line is still bad. Deshaun Watson is on a flawed football team. I just don't think this Texans team is a Super Bowl contender. I do think they can get into the playoffs now that Andrew Luck is retired. I do think that now that Andrew Luck is retired, the whole division is wide open. So that's where I'm at with the Houston Texans. That's why I felt that they should have traded Jadeveon Clowney. And that's why I'm happy they traded Jadeveon Clowney. The only problem is they did not get enough back for him. As far as the Seattle Seahawks go, I think this is a great move for them. I really do. The fact that they pretty much gave up nothing for Jadeveon Clowney is shocking. A 3rd-round pick, a couple, decent players for a Pro Bowl level pass rusher. Man, oh man, I love what the Seahawks did. I love what they did. Listen, Seattle to me was going to go about 8-8 or 9-7 this year. I just didn't think their team was that good. I understand Russell Wilson's one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. He's definitely top 5 to me in the league. I get it. But for me, I didn't think that Russell Wilson was going to be able to make up for just the flaws in this football team had for a 2nd straight year in a row. I just didn't think he could do it, okay? They have a bad offensive line. They have a lot of questions at wide receiver. I do like Tyler Lockett. I do like DK Metcalf. I don't love their tight ends. Their running backs are pretty good, but the offensive line is terrible. And Russell Wilson consistently has to make up for bad offensive line play and bad offensive play overall around them, okay? And Bobby Wagner, too. Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson are the heart and soul of this team. I just didn't think they could consistently carry this team, week to week. Now that, because Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson, what they do, they elevate the players around them, okay? They're so good, they elevate the entire units around them. Russell Wilson elevates the offense. Bobby Wagner elevates the defense, okay? But now you got another great pass rusher in Jadeveon Clowney. You lost Frank Clark. You traded him away to the Chiefs. I love what the Seattle Seahawks are doing. They realized they did not have a lot of draft picks. They're still rebuilding, kind of. They traded Frank Clark, got a bunch of draft picks. They went from having about 4 draft picks to having a ton of draft picks this past year. They had an excellent draft. I love the way the Seattle Seahawks franchise is moving in the direction they're going in. And I think that Jadeveon Clowney definitely helps them. I do think they are potentially playoff contenders this year. I don't think they're quite Super Bowl contenders this year, but again, I still am rolling with the San Francisco 49ers to win this division. I really am. I've made a ton of videos about it. I love what the 49ers did in the offseason. I love the fact that they now have a Pro Bowl linebacker in Quan Alexander. I now love the fact that they have a Pro Bowl quarterback in Jimmy G. I think Jimmy G is going to come back really good this year. I love Telvin Coleman. I love Matt Breida. I love Jared McKinnon. I love what they did in the draft, drafting Nick Bosa. I love them bringing in D Ford. I just think this 49ers team is so underrated. They're going to have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense to me this year. My pick is still the San Francisco 49ers 49ers to win this division. Okay, it's going to be a dogfight now. It's really going to be a dogfight. You know, the Rams, they're very good. I have the Rams actually missing the playoffs this year. I've done a ton of videos on that. I just think the Rams, now they have a Super Bowl hangover. Listen, if you're not named the Patriots, you're naturally going to probably go through a Super Bowl hangover. That's just the nature of the situation, okay? If you're not named the Patriots, just know you're not probably going to be as good as you were last year, okay? That's just the reality of the situation. You rarely is a team better than they were a year ago. And the Rams did not have a lot of injuries last year. They had Cooper Kupp injured last year. They had, Todd Gurley injured a little bit last year. My thing is, the Rams, they don't have a lot of depth. And if they have a lot of injuries this year with the aging offensive line, with the aging secondary, with the aging linebackers, I just don't think they can make up for it. And last year, they didn't have very many injuries. And it did not show their lack of depth. The Rams were great last year. I would not be shocked if the Rams go back and, get in the playoffs and potentially maybe even get back to the Super Bowl. I won't bet on that, okay? But again, I think the Rams are very good. Again, the Seattle Seahawks, they've really inserted themselves into playoff contention. They're a very good team. I like where the Seahawks are at. I love the way the organization is going, the direction they're going in. I really do. But my bet is still the San Francisco 49ers to win this division. I get it. It's not the biggest take. It's not the hottest take. Okay? It's a hot take. I shouldn't say it's not the hottest take. It is a hot take, okay? I'm speaking way too fast here, okay? But my point is, I just love what the 49ers did in the offseason. Now they're going to have a top 5 defensive line. Now Jason Verrett's going to be able to complement Richard Sherman. Now they have great quarterback play in Jimmy G. And last year, they were very competitive even without Jimmy G. So I think the offense, I love their wide receivers. Dante Pettis, Deebo Samuel. I love George Kittle. He's a great playmaker. Marquise Goodwin, Jalen Hurd, a guy they drafted, Jordan Matthews. I just love this 49ers team. I'm still rolling with them. You can hold me to it. I'm going with the 49ers to win this division, okay? But that's kind of where I'm at with this, The Texans, they did a good job trading Jadeveon Clowney because they needed to. Deshaun Watson's the franchise. Go out and spend a ton of money on offensive linemen. Go out and get draft picks to get offensive linemen. He's your franchise. You didn't need Jadeveon Clowney. Now that you don't have elite quarterbacks in your division to chase after, okay? I see why the Broncos. I see why the 49ers. I see why the Cleveland Browns. I see why the Bears went out and got pass rushers because they have elite quarterbacks in their division, okay? I have the 49ers still winning their division. Okay, that's just where I'm at with this whole situation, okay? I do think the Houston Texans could have got a lot back for what Jadeveon Clowney was worth, but again, that's just my take. Be sure to comment where you agree with me, where you disagree with me. I love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? Or potentially if it doesn't, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, get other people hip to this channel, just share this channel with all your friends, share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God bless day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.